Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here for today's explainer. We are about to embark on an absolutely massive journey together, mapping out the entire grade 6 and 7 ancient history timeline. We're going to see exactly how this 39-week roadmap takes learners from absolute beginners all the way to critical analysts of ancient civilizations. It's going to be a great ride, so let's get right into it.
You know the saying, right? The first unit is the one that will create the foundations for the entire year. And honestly, it is so true. We can't just dive headfirst into memorizing dates and empires. Think about it. To build a skyscraper, you literally need a rock-solid foundation first. That's exactly what we're doing here.
Okay, let's look at our agenda for this explainer. Setting the foundation, exploring early civilizations, entering the ancient world, new empires, new faiths, and finally, core outcomes and legacy.
So taking a macro-level view of this 39-week pacing, you'll see the time is beautifully balanced across 4 major units. We've got 10 weeks for Unit 1, 9 for Unit 2, and then 10 weeks each for Units 3 and 4. This setup ensures we have ample time to really dig deep into each phase of human development, all while keeping that forward momentum of history going.
Now, before we break down those specific units, I want you to keep this big unifying question in the back of your mind. How did ancient societies solve problems of power, belief, and community? Seriously, every map drawn and every primary source read ultimately points right back to how ancient peoples tackled those exact same massive challenges we still face today.
All right, moving into Section 1, setting the foundation, focusing on social studies skills and tools.
This is where the magic happens for those first 10 weeks. Students essentially become historical detectives. Yes, they get comfortable with maps, graphs, and organizing time. But the real meat here is source analysis. We're talking about evaluating primary and secondary sources. They learn to separate claims from actual evidence. We had them actively discuss reliability and perspective, asking the hard questions like, wait, is this credible? Who actually wrote this and why? It tackles a huge misconception head-on, the idea that just because something was written down a long time ago, it must be completely true. Actually, scratch that. They learn how to truly interrogate a text and spot the bias. It's about learning how to think, not just what to memorize.
Next up is Section 2, Exploring Early Civilizations, taking us right into Unit 2.
With their analytical tools all sharpened, students spend the next 9 weeks connecting specific ancient peoples to some seriously world-changing inventions. I mean, we're looking at the Mesopotamians developing writing from scratch, the Egyptians creating papyrus, which completely revolutionized how information was recorded, and the Israelites drafting scripture that would go on to deeply influence the global religious landscape.
But you know, history isn't just a list of random trivia facts. We take these incredible historical milestones, like the invention of papyrus, and connect them directly to the broader arrow standards of science, technology, and society. We get to ask fascinating questions, like how did geographic factors, say the reeds growing along the Nile River, fundamentally alter an entire economy and actually democratize knowledge? It's a total game changer.
Moving right along, we hit Section 3, Entering the Ancient World, which is Unit 3.
For this 10-week stretch, the map expands dramatically. We widen our lens to look at massive intellectual leaps happening across Greece, India, and China. We've got the Greeks making huge advancements in civilization, the Chinese inventing paper, and then early India literally inventing the concept of zero. Just think about that for a second. Without the concept of zero, our modern mathematics, engineering, and literally this entire digital world we live in right now just wouldn't exist. No way.
And this brilliantly illustrates our arrow standard focusing on society, identity, and government. Understanding a concept like zero isn't just about doing math. It deeply reflects how a society trades, how it governs, and how it organizes its people. Everything is intertwined.
That brings us to Section 4, New Empires, New Faiths, which covers our final historical phase in Unit 4.
Over these final 10 weeks, the scope of human history just explodes. We've got the Romans giving us absolutely breathtaking engineering feats like concrete and the arch. At the exact same time, new belief systems are spreading like wildfire. You have Christianity shaping the West, and Islam spreading alongside groundbreaking intellectual inventions like algebra. It's this incredible moment where engineering, spirituality, and math are all just crashing together.
This entire unit ties those massive societal shifts together through the ARO themes of connections and conflict. Because when these sprawling empires interact, it's not always peaceful, right? Students analyze international trade, diplomacy, systems of global exchange, and, inevitably, war. History really becomes this active, ongoing web of global interaction.
And finally, we arrive at Section 5, Core Outcomes and Legacy.
So, after 39 weeks of building those foundational skills and analyzing these massive empires, what's the actual endgame? Well, the true destination isn't just rattling off memorized dates. It's about giving students the ability to compare complex political systems side by side. It's about explaining diverse cultural ideas, tracing global trade diffusion, and ultimately evaluating the historical legacy these ancient civilizations left behind.
Plus, all this critical thinking goes way beyond just having great ideas in your head. It's about actually communicating them. Backed by Common Core literacy in history and social studies, students engage in rigorous evidence-based reading and writing. They pull directly from those primary sources they learned to evaluate all the way back in week 1, and they use them to build strong, logical arguments.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. We've seen how the Greeks, the Romans, the Indians, and the Chinese solved their massive problems of power and community. But when you look around today, at our governments, our architecture, our global trade networks, whose legacy are we actually living in? It's kind of wild to think about. I really hope this explainer leaves you eager to dig deeper into the ancient roots of our modern lives. Thanks so much for learning with me today.